Hi friends, this is Dayna here for the Glitter Hub. Thank you for joining me on our YouTube channel for Create a Card with Me. Today we're going to be creating a full front shaker card, and we're going for an Easter theme. If you wanted to make it more spring, you could, but my colors and idea are more like for an Easter card with Easter coming up. So let's just jump right in. Today we're going to be using this great stencil from Heffy Doodle. It's called the Chevron Fun stencil, and I chose this because it reminds me of a colored or dyed Easter egg. I thought that this was kind of like the pattern that you would see on a dyed Easter egg. And we're going to be using this word die from Picket Fence Studios. A great, nice, big word die. It fills basically almost the whole front of an A2 card panel. So we're going to be using that for our sentiment. For the shaker bits, I have the Studio Katia Summer Fusion Sequins, and I have these crystals from Studio Katia. I might use them to embellish the front, we will see. And then I have this ephemera pack from Echo Park, Easter Wishes, and I'll probably use this to create a sub sentiment on the front of the card. So let's just jump right in. Okay, so off camera, I prepared this panel where I'm going to do my stenciling. It measures 4 inches wide and 5 1/4 long, okay, 4 by 5 1/4. And we are going to stencil onto this, and this will be our card panel, okay? So I'm gonna get out the stencil, okay? And I am going to just take some tape, and I'm going to put that on the back just to make sure it doesn't move too much, okay, when we are ink blending. So I'm going to put it like that, okay. And then we are going to stencil on it like this, okay? So you want to make sure you adhere down your stencil because this it's got so many details and lines. I want to make sure that this is really firmly down so it doesn't move. So I'm going to be using some of my Pixie Spray. It's a light tack adhesive and it's repositionable, and it's made especially for stencils. So I'm just going to spray that, okay? And then you just need to give it a minute, okay, to make sure it gets tacky, okay? So we're going to put that down, and I'm going to do it, make sure there's nothing on it, okay? So we're going to do it just, I feel like that is good. Okay, so that's pretty secure. Okay, and just to be really sure, I am going to just use some washi tape, and I'm going to secure down my corners, okay? Just to be sure, just to give us some added stability there, okay? This is sort of an extra step that I'm doing. You don't necessarily have to do this, but I just don't want the stencil moving as I am blending onto it. So that's just my extra insurance there, okay? So that looks ready to go. Let me just do a couple more pieces like that, okay? All right, okay, so that's good, okay? All right, so we are going to be using Distress Oxide to stencil onto this card panel. And the first color that we are going to be using is Spun Sugar, okay? And then we're going to use Dried Marigold, Squeezed Lemonade, Twisted Citron, salvaged patina and shaded lilac. I thought that this was a really nice Easter palette. Okay, so that's what I have chosen for this. Okay, so we are going to start with our spun sugar. Okay, so I have my blending brush. Okay, and just gonna ink that up. Okay, and we are going to do this in the top. Now we are using 6 colors, so we have to make sure we leave enough space. Okay, so I'm just going to do it here. Okay, if we go down a little bit, it doesn't matter. Okay, remember, it doesn't have to be perfect. Okay, so I always tap off before I start blending. Okay, and we're gonna do it just like this. Okay, and here we go. I'm doing it with a bit of a light hand. Okay, if you want a heavier hand, then you would sort of press down on the head of the brush, but I am just holding it around the head of the brush and going in lightly. Spun sugar is a really nice soft pastel pink. I love it. Okay, so there we go. Okay, and I think that's a good amount of coverage there in terms of the space. Okay. Okay, so I like the look of that. Okay, so next we are going to move on to dried marigold. Before we do that, I want to clean up the spun sugar. I don't want to have any cross-contamination on my brushes. Okay, so I'm going to use, I have a spray bottle of rubbing alcohol. Okay, and I'm just going to just cover up my panel, of course. Then the nice thing about using the rubbing alcohol is it evaporates really quickly, so you can continue working on the surface. Okay, and then I just use this, as you can see, very well loved flour sack cloth. Okay, and I'm just going to rub that off there. Okay, perfect. Okay, good. So on to the dried marigold. Okay, so I'm using obviously a new brush. Okay, ink that up. Okay, and I tap and then I start blending in. Okay, like that. Yeah, okay, good. All right, that looks great. Okay, so then what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go back with the spun sugar. Okay, and of course I'm going to wipe this up first. Okay, and then I'm just going to blend it out again with my color before, which is the spun sugar. Okay, so I'm going to do that just so we get a nice blend. There we go. Okay. All right. Next color is going to be Squeezed Lemonade. Okay. So I have my new brush. Okay. Squeeze Lemonade. Okay. There we go. Ink it up. Ink up your brush. Tap it off. Okay. And blend in. This looks really nice. It's a great stencil. Really fun way to create your own panels instead of using patterned paper. Okay, so the possibilities are endless. Okay, perfect. That looks great. Okay, so that's our Squeezed Lemonade. Okay, and then next we are going to go to Twisted Citron. Okay, and I want to make sure I've got some that Squeezed Lemonade. I want to wipe that off. Okay, so I'm just going to wipe, okay, with my rubbing alcohol, protect my panel. And there we go. Okay, so Twisted Citron. Okay, there we go. Okay, whoops. All right. Okay, ink up your brush. Okay, and then I'm going to tap it off. And then I'm going to blend it in there. Oh, that looks nice. Okay. blend that in. And you can decide how light or how dark you want to go. I am sort of applying medium pressure. I don't want it to be too dark, but I want it to have a little bit of an effect. So there we go. That looks great. Okay. Good. So that's my twisted citron. Okay. So then what I'm going to do again, I'm going to go back in with the squeezed lemonade and just blend that in with the twisted citron. Okay. There we go. Just so we don't have any real harsh lines. Okay, I like that. It's blending nicely. Okay, good. Okay, and our next color is Salvaged Patina. Okay, it's a beautiful color. And I thought it was very, very springy, Eastery. Okay, so I am going to be using one of these, my blue blending brush. I don't know, there's something wrong with it. I have tried cleaning it and it just doesn't seem to work very well. So I'm just going to be using this blending handle with the foam instead, okay? So I'm gonna ink that up, okay? I'm going to tap that off, okay? And then I'm going to come in, okay? And you can see I got up into the twisted citron a little bit, but that's okay. So I'm going to blend that out. There. Okay. Good. Okay. Good. I like that. Okay. And then we are going to come back with the twisted citron just to clean that up a little bit. Okay. Remember to wipe up your surface. Okay. So I'm going to come back in. Twisted citron, okay, and let's try to clean that up a little bit. There, blend that up. Okay, good. Okay, that looks better. Good. Okay, look at that. Nice. Okay, happy with that. Okay, and then our final color is Shaded Lilac. It's a really nice pastel-y purple. Okay, so that's ink up your brush. Okay, and let me just wipe that up. Okay, and here we go. Oh yeah, look at that. Okay, get up again. Oh, that's so nice. Okay, lovely. That's lovely. Look at that. Looks like an Easter egg. Exactly what I was going for. Okay, good. And then what you want to do is you want to go back in with your Salvaged Patina, okay, and just get that blended in with, and you can do back and forth too, okay. Just so we don't have any harsh lines. Look at that. I love it. Okay, so that is our stenciled panel. So now for the fun part, taking it off and doing the reveal. Okay, so let's see. Okay, let's take this off. Okay, this is always the fun part. Okay. Oh yeah, look at that. Look at that. That looks great. Okay. It's a little bit of the pixie dust, but that's okay. Look at that. I love it. Just wipe that off. Okay. That can come off as well. Just wipe that off. That's just a little bit of the pixie spray. Okay, look at that. That looks like an Easter egg. that beautiful? Okay, good. So our stenciling is done, okay? So now what you can do for that is you can take, if you have one of these adhesive erasers, and just try to get that off. Okay, good. Okay, look at that. Isn't that beautiful? That's beautiful. I love that. Great stencil. Great stencil. Okay, so we need to wipe up our work surface. Okay, so I'm going to use my rubbing alcohol. Okay. And then just give that a good wipe. And there we go. Okay. Great. All right. Okay, good. Okay, so moving along. That went very, very well. Okay. So the next thing that we are going to do is, I think what I want to do is do a little, not a lot, but a little bit of some water splatter. Okay. So I'm going to get a paper towel. Okay, just a paper towel. And I have my distress sprayer, okay? And I am just very, very lightly, okay? I'm just going to give it a spray like that, okay? And then I'm going to put my paper towel down. Okay, just going to press, okay, and then if I feel like it's not enough, oh, look at that. Really looks like dyed Easter eggs. Look at that. You see that? Isn't that great? Okay, I'm going to do a little bit more spray. Okay. Okay, good. And then down, and then I'm going to set it with my heat tool. Okay. That looks great. Look at that. See that? Okay. So let's just heat that up. Okay. So I have my Ranger Heat It craft tool. This doesn't scorch your paper, okay? So let's just do that. Okay. Just set that. And go in the back too. Okay. And there. It's nice and subtle, but I like it. Look at that. It's exactly like a dyed Easter egg. I love it. Okay. All right. Excellent. Okay. And that's our card panel right there. Okay. With just some Distress Oxides and stencil. Okay. That's beautiful. Okay. So the next thing we need to do is we need to, let's see. Okay. We are going to make our sentiment out of this Picket Fence Studios die. I have it in white. I die cut it out of white, but I want to add color to it. So we are going to use Distress Oxides again, okay? And we are going to use Kitsch Flamingo and Spun Sugar again, okay? Kitsch Flamingo and Spun Sugar, okay? So I'm gonna do kind of like an ombre effect, all right? So I am going to do my lightest color first, which is my Spun Sugar, okay? And I'm kind of, you know, going for half Kitsch Flamingo, okay, on the letters, and half Spun Sugar, okay? So I'm going to ink up my brush, okay? And I'm going to do the sort of top, okay? Top half, okay? And again, just lightly, okay? See that? Look at how nice that is, okay? And again, doesn't have to be perfect. Doesn't have to be exactly half, okay? Doesn't exactly have to be fully blended, okay? Doesn't have to be perfect, okay? We just want to add some color and some visual interest. We don't want it to be so stark white, okay? Of course, if I had wanted to, I could have cut this out of, you know, colored cardstock, okay? Look at that. Look at how pretty that is, okay? But I wanted to do like an ombre effect, so I had to do this instead, okay? And then we're gonna go to the top of the bottom part of the die, okay? There we go. Look how nice that is, okay? And it doesn't matter if I get any here or here because we're going to be covering that up with the Kitsch Flamingo anyway. So it doesn't matter, okay? So here we go. Oh yeah, look at that. Okay. And I should have mentioned that I cut this out twice and I glued them together. So this is actually 2 of these die cut, okay? And I just used some liquid glue and I put them together. I just wanted a bit more dimension, okay? All right, so I'm happy with that. Look at that. Oh, that's so pretty. That is so pretty, okay? So that's the spun sugar. And now we are going to do Kitsch Flamingo on the bottom, okay? So again, wipe that up, okay? Kitsch Flamingo, it's a more vibrant pink, okay? And I am going to use the same brush, okay, for the Kitsch Flamingo, okay? All right, there we go. Look at that. Okay, and what I'm going to do is I am going to, what I like to do is if I don't want to get my fingers all inky or I don't want to touch, I just have like an old gift card, okay? And I use that to hold on to what I am trying to ink blend. So I am going to pull that out and do that, okay? All right, look at that. Oh, I love it. It looks so pretty, okay? Look at that. All right, and again, doesn't have to be perfect. We don't need even coverage or all the same coverage. Look at that. How pretty is that? Okay, I'm gonna probably go back in there and put a little bit more spun sugar, okay? But let's just do the bottom part. Okay, so here we go. Okay, there we go. This Kitsch Flamingo is so nice. It's a nice combination, spun sugar and Kitsch Flamingo. There we go. Okay. Look at that. Oh, I love it. Looks great. So let's just go in with the spun sugar and just kind of fill in a couple of the white spaces, okay? So wipe up your surface, okay? I am just going to wipe up my brush, okay? Here we go. There we go. And, okay, look at that. So nice. It's a nice blend, okay? And again, it doesn't bother me that I do have a little bit of unevenness there, okay? And look at that, okay? So again, you can use your inks. I use Distress Oxide. You can use your dye inks, okay? And we customized our sentiment. Okay, good. So look at that. I like how that looks, okay? All right, so now we need to do the shaker, okay? So I am going to clean up my surface again, just to get rid of that, and we're not doing any more ink blending, okay? So there we go. Okay. All right. Okay, great. All right, so next part, we need to create the shaker, okay? So what I am using is some packaging, and I am repurposing it into my sort of in place of acetate, okay, for my shaker, okay? So my advice is if you order cardstock or paper, okay, especially cardstock, don't throw away the packaging. Or, you know, when you order things from companies like the Glitter Hub, if it comes in any sort of cellophane bag, keep the packaging, okay? And then you can repurpose it into shaker cards, okay? So what you want to do is you want to cut down your cellophane or your packaging, okay? 1 inch wider and 1 inch longer than your panel that you are wrapping, okay? So my cellophane here is 5 inches, okay, by 6 1/4 long, because my panel is 4 inches by 5 1/4, okay? So this is 5 by 6 1/4, okay? So what we are going to do is we are going to do this, okay? And we are going to center it, okay, as best we can, making sure, okay, I'm putting the pink. The pink is going to be on top, and my shaded lilac, the purple on the bottom, okay? All right, and I'm going to take some double-sided adhesive, okay? And I'm going to put it down, okay? Like this, okay? And I'm just going to cut that down. Okay, and then I'm going to put it all the way around. Okay, like so. All right, okay. And then the next side is here. Okay. All right, okay. And then the top. Like this, okay. All right, okay. Just want to make sure I cut that off there. Okay, all right, okay. And now what we are going to do is we are going to leave the release paper on the top, okay? And we are going to take it off the 2 sides and the bottom, okay? We are going to leave the top on for now, okay? So, like so, okay? And one more, okay? Okay, there we go. Okay, and then we are going to fold over the sides, okay? So the top, the release paper is still on there, okay? So we are going to fold this, okay, like so. Okay, and the other side like so, okay, and then the bottom, okay, going to fold that up, okay, oops, All right, if you mess up like I just did, don't worry. We're just going to cut off a little bit more of some of our adhesive, okay? Doesn't matter. And we're going to put it down like this. Take off the release paper, okay? And there we go, okay? So now what we have, okay, and we can cut that off there, okay? All right, so we have, okay, the top is open, okay? And we are going to put in our sequins, okay? And then we're gonna seal up the top part, okay? So I am going to use my Studio Katia, okay? Summer Fusion, but these are great Easter spring colors, okay? So I'm going to put some in there, okay? Let's see, like that, okay? And then let's put this in here, okay? Oh yeah, look at that. How fun is that? Okay, so just put that in, okay. All right, okay, look at that. Okay, I would say that's enough, okay? So now let's take off our release paper, okay? All right, okay, and then we are going to fold that down like so. Look at that. Look at that. Now we have a fun full front shaker panel. Okay, look at that. Okay, look how fun that is. Okay. And we are going to, this doesn't bother me, okay? I have some edges there. I could actually cut that off, okay? But we are going to use foam adhesive to adhere that to our card base, so it really doesn't bother me too much, okay? So there we go, okay? So we've made our shaker panel, okay? And now we're going to adhere that to our card base, okay? So I like to use top folding card bases, okay? So I'm just going to do this, okay? Get that nice and crisp, okay? And that is going to go here, okay? Like this, okay? So I'm going to use my foam tape to do that. I like to have dimension. So let's get that. Okay, so foam here, okay, there we go, 1, 2, okay, 3, and one more, okay, like that, okay, good. Okay, good. And then we're going to put it here, okay. All right, so let's take off the release paper. Okay, 1, 2, okay. All right, okay, and then we will just center this, okay? And I like to stand up when I do that. Okay. So, there we go. Look at that. I love it. I love it. Okay. All right, and now we are going to put on our sentiment, hooray, okay? So it's going to look like this, Okay, so I am going to use some liquid adhesive for that. Okay, you want to make sure that you use something really strong. Okay, so let's get that on. Okay. Okay, there we go. And this dries clear. And the nice thing about this is once you put it on, it gives you a little bit of time to reposition it if you need to. Okay, so it doesn't stick right away. So there we go. All right. Okay. All right. And then you're going to center that. Okay. So I'm going to put that on just like that. Okay. And I need to move it a bit. Okay, I like that. Okay, look at that. I love it. And I love how the bits come up behind the letters. Okay, I'm very happy with that. Okay, good. Okay, so the last thing that we need to do is add some kind of sub-sentiment. I'm just going to get my block here and just to put that down a little bit. I'll use this bigger one here, okay? All right, so while we're letting that sort of settle in, let's look at the ephemera that we have here and figure out what sort of sub-sentiment we could use, okay? So we've got, we could take these apart too. This comes out, okay? So we can maybe use that. Wishing you a colorful Easter, okay? Or bring on the chocolate bunnies might be fun. I could even cut that down if I needed to, okay? You're a good egg is cute. So let's see how that looks, okay? These are too big. Calories don't count on Easter, if only. Okay, but okay. Happy Easter for Pete's sake. I think that might be a little bit too big. So let's see. Okay, which one will work with this sentiment? Okay. I think even if we cut that down, it might be a little bit too wide. I'm not sure about that one. You're a good egg. That's kind of cute. That's kind of cute. We could even cut that down. Wishing you a colorful Easter. What's that look like if we put that here? Wishing you a colorful Easter. I don't know. I think I might, I kind of like bring on the chocolate bunnies. Hooray, bring on the chocolate bunnies. I'm wondering if we could get that cut down, okay, to a little bit of a thinner size so that it might work a little bit better, okay, and have it stretch across. So I'm just going to trim that down, okay. I'm just going to, I just want to put something inside there to help me trim that down a little bit better. That's not going to work. Okay, here we go. Okay, all right, so let's see if we can get this just a little bit smaller. Okay, and there. Okay, and then just trim the sides too, and then I'll do the other. Okay, good. Okay. All right, and then here we go. Okay. Okay, I like that. get that out of the way. Okay. Bring on the chocolate bunnies. I really like that. Okay. So let's use some foam squares. Okay. And pop that on there. Okay. So there we go. 2, 3, 4. Okay. And remove the release paper. Okay. And then pop that on sort of here so that we can still see the large hooray. Okay. And oh, I love it. Love it. I think that looks fantastic. And we don't need anything else to complete this card. I thought maybe I was going to add some crystals, but I think this is finished. Okay, so thank you for joining me. This video was a little bit longer than I wanted it to, but hopefully you can take what you have in your stash or head on over to the Glitter Hub and pick up some products and create your own full front shaker card as well. Thank you and have a great week. Bye.